How's it going, everyone? Parth with Atlanta JDM here to show off another one of our imports, and today we'll be looking at a 1996 Honda Acty Attack. So this is my first blue K truck. The blue ones are a lot harder to find than the commercial whites. This is an Attack trim level, my first one. I usually get the SDXs, and no complaints whatsoever. The only complaint I have is it does not have air conditioning, but it's got pretty much everything else you need. Don't let the 4-speed scare you. So just do a quick little lap. We're going to make this one short because there's not really much to go over on K trucks. That's why I don't do a lot of videos on them, and mainly because they just sell quickly. The blue ones are very hard to find. That's why this one's a little pricier than normal, but it is a eye catcher. I could take 50 Skylines and one Supra and an RX-7 to a car show, and everybody is going to stop and look at the little cute truck. So this is a 25-year-old car. It's going to have some cosmetics, and we're going to go over those real fast. I did just rinse it off a second ago because I do daily these cars when they are in my possession. These do get a single stage paint in Japan, so for the age, the paint is actually very nice. There's not a lot of fading like the Step Wagon I'll be doing a video on shortly. But aside from that, the only other cosmetic that I saw that needed to be disclosed was going to be just some leakage right here. Little bit of surface rust in the bed. Again, it's a work truck. It's to be expected. Do a couple of pans of the bed. Bit of surface rust here as well. And aside from that, just in the interior, and we'll just go ahead and go over that, because the only other thing I want to go over on the outside is, and again, all my friends make fun of me for it, we did install these K Cutie wheels on the truck. They are only offered in Japan. They are K car specific, so they're sized for them. And they're a lot cheaper to install as opposed to getting them shipped. So we do import wheels now. If you're interested, feel free to reach out. But if you want another set of these, there's only one guy in Thailand selling them for $1,800. They're about 5 years used with a lot of wear and tear and like this really ugly maroon red pink. So if you want to, go for that, go for it. But wheels do not come separate. They come with the truck. And the truck comes with the wheels. So go ahead and nip that in the bud. Before I got sidetracked though, the only other noticeable cosmetic is going to be on the inside. You can see there's just some surface rust repair that they did in Japan, which looks just like aluminum, and they painted on it. Again, it's not the end of the world. It's not actually chewing up any of the chassis unless you get right here, and I'm pushing in with a lot of force and it's not crackling. Also another good sign, I'll show underneath the floor mat. And the good thing is it's not spreading. It's just kind of isolated in this area, which a lot of water buildup. A lot of bad things happen on the driver's side because, again, these are commercial work trucks, and that's really what's getting a lot of the play. You're not having a lot of passengers in these. So that brings me to my next point. I believe this was exchanged because the pattern's different. It looks a lot more worn out. Driver seats are usually the first thing to go in Japan, and not the end of the world. Other than that, rest of the interior looks very nice. No cracks, holes, anything in the dash. Again, I'm very sad there's no air conditioning, but you're not going to need it in the winter. And you're going to get so much clout everywhere you drive, it's not really going to matter. So you do have where it explains the ultra low and ultra reverse. It does have a locking mechanism, and it is a 4-speed. So like I said a second ago, it does keep up very well in traffic. And when I say traffic, just regular, normal street traffic, not interstate traffic. It's just the initial oomph to get there. Other than that, though, you're cruising along. You'll be weaving in and out. So not a worry at all. It is a mid-engine, so the engine is located right here underneath this. Easily accessible to work on. Actually just did an alternator and a whole bunch of stuff to my personal K truck. So everything is pretty easy to work on from that little area if you have a lift. The other things, you know, all of our cars get a routine service before they leave Japan. Some notable things about the car was we did purchase it from the original owner, so it was still being used. It had a valid shock, and that's a very good sign. That means the car was for the most part well maintained. We did replace a couple of things. One of the lamps had to be replaced in the rear. We only did the rotors on the front because the pads still had some life. We did the front tie rod ends, and just again, routine services, fluids. It didn't really need anything else. I did not get the date on the timing belt, but again, if it would have been something my guys needed to do, they would have done it. I don't want to misspeak when I say this. I think the original owner had done it about 2 years ago, but I would have to check with the records. So just throwing that out there. And again, just a quick little video. There's not really much to go over. I mean, everywhere I go, people stop me at lights. Everywhere. That's the best part of driving these things. This one does have a clear Georgia title. So in Georgia, they are doing some weird stuff right now. They've been doing it for 4 years. I'm glad that the people here are, you know, fighting the good fight, and it's nice to have some backup. You know, a lot of people that have started the fight are doing a lot more than I ever did, but you know, when you join in masses, you're always a lot stronger. Again, clear Georgia title, and it's not a recalled title from last October. It was printed 2 weeks ago at the head DMV in Georgia. I'm a licensed bonded insured dealer. So just one more thing on the interior I didn't go over is the odometer. We're sitting at 90, God, the sun's blocking me out, 98,496 kilometers. That's going to be around 61,000 miles. So pretty good for a K truck. Again, I think around 160. You know, typical, you got to do a, you know, service, routine, tune up, stuff like that, but not the end of the world. I was going to turn it on just real fast just so you can hear it. I'm not going to screw that cover off, unfortunately. Very easy to work on once you get in there and actually know what you're doing. Always just cranks up. And these things are just very solid work trucks. And how you engage the mechanism is you just pull up, and then when you shift, it'll go to ultra first or ultra reverse. After that, first, second, third, fourth. Oh, and then far reverse. So, but that's going to be it for this one. If you have any other questions or, you know, inquiries, feel free to reach out. We're always happy to help. If you want to place a custom order, this is actually a stock car, believe it or not. I do a lot of custom order videos because that's what we get a lot of. If you want something specific, feel free to reach out about that process. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And until next time, I appreciate the support, and we'll see y'all.